President Rodrigo Duterte reveals politicians involved in the illegal drug operations in our country. Rosalie Cos tells us why.
President Rodrigo Duterte has revealed the names of politicians involved in the narcotics trade in the Philippines. The narco-list includes mayors, vice mayors, congressmen, and a provincial board member. Most of them are running in the 2019 midterm elections.
My decision to unmask these drug personalities was anchored on my trust in the government agencies who have vetted and validated the narco-list.
The chief executive has also ordered the filing of cases against the so-called narco-politicians in the Office of the Ombudsman through the Department of the Interior and Local Government. Aside from the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency or PDEA, the Anti-Money Laundering Council as well as the Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission have conducted their own investigations. The chief executive has emphasized the list he is holding is based on validated reports.
Remember that public office is a public trust. An official's right to privacy is not absolute, and there is a compelling reason to prioritize the interests of the state and the people. As your president, my ultimate concern is the pursuit of order in government and the welfare of the Filipino people. My administration assures you of our dedication to change the lives of Filipinos now, not tomorrow. So this is already a validated report.
The president did not mention the names of those whose involvement in the illegal drug trade are still being verified. President Duterte made the statements during the National Peace and Order Council meeting in Davao City last night. Meanwhile, presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo said those who are included on the list and those whose names have been revealed to the public can prove their innocence before the court. Panelo reiterated, however, that individual right is subordinate to the right of the state to secure and protect itself from drug menace, which is now considered a national security problem. Some lawmakers have warned of filing a criminal suit against those who implicated their names on the said narco-list. Rosalie Cos, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Politicians on President Duterte's recent narco-list deny their involvement in illegal drug trade. Meanwhile, the Department of Interior and Local Government, however, insists they have enough evidence against the narco-politicians. Nel Maribohok explains why.
President Rodrigo Duterte released yesterday his latest narco-list. On the list are 35 mayors, 7 vice mayors, 1 provincial board member, and 3 members of the lower house of Congress. Based on the list, the officials are from Ilocos Region, Cagayan Valley, Mimaropa, Caraga Region, Central Visayas, Zamboanga Peninsula, Central Luzon, Soxargen, Northern Mindanao, and Western Visayas.
There can never be a valid argument to deny the public, the people of the Philippines at large, to know who are the officials who should not be there in their office. In this particular case now, those who are involved in the deadly name of drug trafficking.
The Department of the Interior and Local Government or DILG said it is part of their responsibilities to release the said narco-list to the public. DILG Undersecretary Jonathan Malaya in an interview pointed out the release of the President's updated narco-list has no connection with the upcoming 2019 midterm elections.
So itong lahat ng 4 na ahensyang ito ang nagtulungan para mabuo itong listahan na ito. So we are fairly confident na mabigat ang ating mga ebidensya at sana panigan tayo ng ombudsman.
The DILG official assured that the list went thorough the scrutiny of the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, who chaired the Interagency Committee on Anti-Illegal Drugs with the support of the Philippine National Police, Armed Forces of the Philippines, and National Intelligence Coordinating Agency.
I would just like to assure ang ating mga kababayan at even yung mga nagsasabi na negative campaigning na wala po kaming intensyong ganun, no? This is just incidental na panahon ng eleksyon ngayon.
The Interagency Committee on Anti-Illegal Drugs was created through Executive Order Number 15 signed by President Duterte in 2017. One of his tasks is to ensure the effective conduct of anti-illegal drug operations and arrest of high-value drug personalities down to the street-level peddlers and users, among others. Meanwhile, some politicians included on the narco-list have denied involvement in the illegal drug trade.
Sinasabi po nila na de-validated all of this, pero saan po talaga actual na nakukuha yung mga information? Will it be sa mga taong kumakalaban sa atin o yung mga nasagasaan natin ng ating pag-implementa ng batas?
Sa unang-una pa lang noong 2016, nag-request na ako na imbestigahan ako, open book ako, binabsan ko ang pamamahay ko na inimbestigahan lahat. Meron namang resulta na puro negative lahat ang result.
2017 pa lang, kumakalat na yung involved ako sa drugs. Binabaliwala ko lang kasi walang katotohanan yung bagay na yun.
Nel Maribuco, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
The Philippine National Police continues to validate information and gather evidence against public officials included on the so-called narco-list of President Duterte. Asher Cadapan Jr. explains why.
It was in 2016 when President Rodrigo Duterte first revealed a long list of judges, policemen, mayors, and other public officials linked to illicit drugs. In fact, Philippine National Police or PNP spokesperson Police Senior Superintendent Bernard Banac confirms today that since 2016, the police have filed charges against 157 officials on the so-called narco list.
Criminal case ng mga lokal na opisyal dahil sa pagkakasangkot nila sa illegal na droga. Ang pagsampa ng kaso sa kanila ay dahil sa mga buy-bust operation na sinagawa ng ating mga kapulisan. Ang karamihan ng mga ito ay mga barangay chairman, mga barangay councilors na talagang nahulihan ng mga illegal na droga.
And ahead of midterm elections in May, President Rodrigo Duterte has revealed a list of public officials involved in illegal drug operations. The PNP spokesperson said the list includes local chief executives who protect or tolerate illegal drug trade in their areas. And to file cases against government officials on the narco list, the PNP has information, validation, and evidence gathering underway. Banac has emphasized PRIMA FACIE evidence or catching the individual in the act of transacting or using illegal drugs is needed to be able to file a criminal case.
Patuloy ang ating maigting na pangangalap ng impormasyon at validation para pa doon sa mga hindi pa napapangalanan dahil alam natin na marami pa ang hindi napapangalanan. Subalit dahil sa proseso ng validation at verification, ito ay na-reduce pa, no? na narrow down to 46. Kaya 46 lamang po ang initial na nasampahan ng kasong administratibo sa Office of the Ombudsman. At sa mga mahuhuli ng akto, no? May prima facie evidence, ay kaagad na sasampahan agad ng kaso ng kriminal.
Meanwhile, Justice Secretary Bernardo Guevara said they will begin their investigation after they receive intelligence reports from the Department of Interior and Local Government and Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency or a copy of the complaints filed before the Office of the Ombudsman. Asher Cadapan Jr., UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
The Philippines is one of the leading countries in terms of gender equality. But how should men treat women? Rosalie Cos has this report.
Maya and Michael Rosario have been married for 26 years. They are blessed with 3 children. 2 have graduated from college. The Rosario couple shared they're always together both at home and at work. Maya said although she and her husband are together almost around the clock, this is not a reason for them to be fed up with each other.
Wala naman po ako nafe-feel na parang may pagbabago. The more na nagsasama po kami, parang mas nafe-feel ko po na kailangan talaga mas masaya. Na parang kasi may family na, di po ba? Para sa mga anak, sa family mo. So, kailangan mo talaga na magkatulungan sa paggawa, hindi lang sa labas, sa bahay, sa gawain, sa trabaho. Yan po.
Like other couples, they too have disagreements. But the husband said forgiving and understanding each other is their secret in keeping their relationship smooth sailing.
Awa ng tulong ng Diyos sa amin, yung mga tampuhan na gano'n, huwag magtanim ng galit. Pagka kakaroon kami ng mga sabihin na nating away, basta tahimik na lang kami. Hindi na kami nagsasabi kung anong mali nung isa, kung anong mali nung isa, kung anong hindi niya ginawa, basta tahimik na lang muna kami. Tapos later on, sa sarili na lang namin, nakikita naman namin kung ano yung mga mali, mga dapat naman gawin. So doon na lang kami natututo.
Is Michael's treatment towards his wife in accordance with the Holy Scriptures? What is the Bible's advice for a man and a woman bound by marriage?
Dahil dito, iniutos ng Diyos sa lalaki ang kanyang asawa'y alalayan. Doon po sa unang Pedro 3, versikulo 7. Gayon din naman kayong mga lalaki, magsipamahay kayong kasama ng inyong asawa ayon sa pagkakilala. Napakundanganan ng babae na gaya ng marupok na sisidlan. Yamang kayo na may kasamang tagapagmana ng biyaya ng kabuhayan upang ang inyong mga panalangin ay huwag mapigilan. Maliwanag po sa talata ang utos sa lalaki, papakundanganan ang babae gaya ng marupok na sisidlan. Mas appropriate na maintindihan, mas maganda sa English translation. Giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel. Giving honor. Hindi para ismulin o laitin o menospresyado, ang sabi nila sa Kastila, ang babae. Giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel. It is the thought or the idea of God's teachings among Christians that the woman be respected as a weaker vessel. A weaker vessel must not be belittled, but must be given honor. Speaking of body constitution, woman is weaker than man, physically. And we can also say that spiritually, women are inferior to man. According to the creator of man and woman, woman must be regarded as a weaker vessel. But instead of being belittled, a woman must be given honor. According to the Bible.
Brother Eli Soriano also said that men should duly recognize the contribution of mothers or women in the society.
Mga kapatid, mga kababayan, ang babae na bigay ng Diyos ay minamahal, inaalagaan, pinagpapakundanganan, binibigyan ng dangal sapagkat ang Diyos ang may kalooban na ang babae ay maging isa sa contributor ng kabutihan ng human society.
Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
President Rodrigo Duterte ordered the Metropolitan Waterworks and Sewerage System, or MWSS, the demand from Manila Water, Maynilad, and responsible offices to release water good for 150 days to supply Metro Manila residents affected by the water shortage. But the MWSS chief says it is not doable. Here's Joanna to tell us why.
It seems that President Duterte himself has had enough of the water shortage in some areas of Metro Manila and Rizal. In a statement, presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo says Duterte ordered the MWSS to demand from Maynilad, Manila Water, and other responsible offices to release water needed to supply affected residents for the next 5 months. If this is not met by noon today, the president will personally make responsible officers to account for such failure. But MWSS Administrator Reynaldo Velasco says this is not doable.
I think the recommendation that were given to him are not the right recommendation. He texted Secretary Bingbong to brief the President what is the real situation.
He says the maximum amount of water, which is 4,000 million liters per day, is already being released daily, and any excess to that would compromise the aqueducts and water supply tunnels.
So that is not the solution. Ang solution itong ginagawa natin ngayon. So I already assured the President that through Secretary Villardia that please assure the President that MWS will solve this at its level.
Velasco said they are already doing their job to meet the 150 million liters per day shortage in the supply of Manila water. 50 million liters will come from the Cardona Dam, which will become operational this month, and the 100 million liters from deep wells which Manila Water has yet to dig.
Sabi ko nga, wala nang sisiyan ito, pero just for your information, lahat ito dapat ginawa long time ago na eh.
Velasco said they are on a catch-up mode and that there is no short-term solution to the problem. Joan Ano, UNTV News and Rescue.
Maynilad opens its valve to start sharing supply to Manila water consumers. And on Monday, the lower house will begin to probe the current water shortage. Grace Casin will tell us why.
Manila water customers may expect to gradually experience relief after almost a week of water shortage. This as Maynilad officially opened their valve located in West Avenue, Quezon City to share 50 milliliters of water per day to Manila Water Company.
Progressively, i-increase po yan to 50 MLD, dahan-dahan dahil meron nga pong gagawin, plus the deep well. So pag pinagsabay-sabay po natin, aabutin pa rin po tayo ng April hanggang May.
Maynilad's valve have been closed since 1997. According to Metropolitan Waterworks and Sewerage System or MWSS, when El Nido hit country in 2015, Maynilad experienced water shortage and Manila Water shared their water to Maynilad to solve the problem.
Kasama po yun sa concession agreement na mag-sharing ng water in cases of emergency.
Yesterday, House Speaker Gloria Arroyo met with MWSS to find out the reasons behind the water shortage. The lawmakers suggested to reduce the water pressure of Manila Water imposes in various areas so that other places may have improved water supply.
Lahat na lang magpare-pareho na magsakripisyo. Hihinaan ng presyon sa lahat pero maiwasan natin yung talagang totally wala ng tubig na tumutulo.
The lower house is set on Monday, March 18 to conduct an inquiry on the water shortage, to which lawmakers invited MWSS, Maynilad, Manila Water, and the National Water Resources Board or MWRB. The House Committee on Metro Manila Development plans to urge MWRB to consider the use of deep well water in times of crisis.
Maybe on Monday you can prepare a committee resolution allowing them so that will be part of the part of the interpretation of the law.
Meanwhile, Malacanang is set to release an executive order to prevent the worsening scenario of the water problem. Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles in a statement said the economic cluster and the cabinet assistance system are now addressing the issue. Several groups rallied earlier today in front of MWSS office to protest the water shortage. The MWSS, on the other hand, assured they are doing their best to normalize the water supply in the parts of Metro Manila affected by the water woes. Grace Casin, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
The Metropolitan Waterworks and Sewerage System clarifies the issue on opening the bypass valve to solve the water shortage crisis being experienced by Manila Water customers. Monokson explains why.
What if, with just a turn of a valve, the water shortage crisis in some parts of Metro Manila will be solved? Hashtag Open the Bypass is now trending on Twitter. It all started when a social media post of Metropolitan Waterworks and Sewerage System or MWSS chief regulator Patrick T was screen grabbed by Facebook user Miles Hamito. Patrick T's post reads, Metro Manila has no new water source because of the oppositions to Kaliwa Dam, Laiban Dam, etc. And on that post, a certain Angel Salazar posted a comment that reads, Open the bypass and the problem will be solved. This was followed by a comment that said the problem started when MWSS ordered the closure of the bypass and La Mesa. Angel added that only the MWSS Regulatory Board can order the closure of the said bypass. Netizens who have been monitoring the exchange of posts wondered who this Angel Salazar is. Angel Salazar claimed he worked in Manila Water from 1982 to 2012. According to Angel, he knows the system on how water reaches customers from the Umiray River and Angat Dam. The thread has been shared over 59,000 times with more than 10,000 comments. As more and more netizens monitored the trending posts of Patrick T. and Angel Salazar, the MWSS chief regulator called a press conference to shed light on the issue on the bypass that Angel Salazar kept on mentioning. Patrick T. clarified the said bypass has never been closed. He said this is the source of Manila Water's water allocation of 1,600 million liters of water per day.
The bypass is always open to provide the 1,600 MLD of Manila Water. They've been receiving the 1,600 MLD. Manila Water is confirming that they have been receiving the 1,600 MLD. I think let's stick to the issue that is totally false. That is fake news. We did not order the closure of the portal. So parang sana naman at least maintindihan ng mga publiko, the portal is open.
T said the MWSS does not control the bypass.
The MWSS Regulatory Office has no control over this bypass. The two of them are in coordination. They are talking to each other. Maynilad and Manila Water.
And as to the question why the water allocation cannot be increased to solve the problem, MWSS responded.
Unfortunately, the infrastructure, it's only 4,000 ang kaya. 4,000 MLD lang ang kaya ng existing structure. So, even if the NWRB gave us an additional 2 CMS, it could not reach Metro Manila. It's basically saying that, yes, there's a lot of water in Angat, but it cannot go here. We cannot transport the water here to address the current problem.
MWSS points fingers to Manila Water because of its mismanagement. First is the unfinished Cardona Water Treatment Facility. Second, the miscalculation on the water shortage crisis.
Is it the fault of the public? I don't think so, because it really should be Manila Water that should have properly done the simulation and should have anticipated that issue.
MWSS said they will strive to normalize the water supply come April. On Manila Water's part, its Chief Operation Officer has this take on the issue.
We will energize partially within the month, perhaps 31 million liters per day muna, bump it up to 50 by end of March or early April, and then another 50 for a total of 100 sometime August.
Mon Hokson, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
The National Water Resources Board assures the sufficiency of water supply from Angat Dam. Here's Ray Pilayo to tell us why.
This majestic view of the 62-hectare Angat watershed shot by the UNTV drone shows the bluish color of Angat Lake in Bulacan Province. Angat Dam, which was built in the strategic location of the watershed for 6 years, began operating in October 1967. This is just a glimpse of the depth of the billions of liters of waters presently impounded in the dam despite the effects of the El Nino phenomenon. This morning, the water level was at 199.25 meters or almost 20 meters higher than the 180-meter critical level. Angat Dam has closed gates as it awaits the rainy season to resume operation. The National Water Resources Board or NWRB assures the public the dam's water level will remain stable amid the dry season.
Sa tingin po natin, yung regular na alokasyon na binibigay ng NWRB para sa water supply sa Metro Manila at irrigation ay kasalukuyan po ay natutugunan naman po natin.
Araw-araw ay nasa 4 na bilyong litro ng tubig ang pinapakawalan ng Angat Dam para sa mga water concessionaires na Maynilad at Manila Water. Ito ay dinadala naman sa mga residente sa Metro Manila. Nasa 96% ng pangangailangan sa tubig ng Metro Manila ay nanggagaling dito sa Angat Dam. On the other side of the 131-meter Angat Dam and dike lies the 218-megawatt Angat hydroelectric power plant. Water flows through these turbines toward Ipo and La Mesa dams, which supplies water in Metro Manila. Though the water reservoir has been existing for more than 5 decades, its operation was extended for another 50 years after the billion-peso dike rehabilitation in 2015. Ray Pilayo, UNTV, News and Rescue, Angat, Bulacan.
The Department of Health reminds the public that as they store water amid the prevailing water supply shortage, water containers must be kept covered. Aiko Miguel will tell us why.
Residents in areas affected by the water interruption have their own ways of not just saving but also storing water. Even hospitals ensure that there is water stocked, enough for cleaning and flushing waste in their toilets. With the need to stock water, the Department of Health or DOH is now worried the number of dengue cases in the country might shoot up this year. The DOH said this is possible if water containers in households and in other establishments will not be kept covered. Based on DOH data, over 40,000 dengue cases were recorded in the country from January 1 to March 2, 2019. This number is more than 60% higher than that recorded in the same period last year. For this reason, the Health Department calls on the public to be extra careful.
Pwedeng takpan ng plastic, talian sa may labi ng mga lalagyan at siguraduhin na ito ay hindi mapamugaran ng mga lamok at doon ang kiti-kiti ay dadami at magiging lamok at sila magkakalat ng sakit na dengue.
We make it a point to keep our water containers closed at all times, especially those that are outside of the hospital.
The DOH has mandated hospitals to conduct water testing in their laboratories to ensure that the water supply in facilities are not contaminated. According to Health Secretary Francisco Duque III, the quality of water supply to hospitals must be ascertained to prevent diarrhea and gastroenteritis outbreaks. Secretary Duque advises that drinking water must not come from water tanks. Meanwhile, during Secretary Duque's visit today in hospitals affected by the water shortage, the National Center for Mental Health or NCMH and Quirino Memorial Medical Center or QMMC reported that they still have normal operations but with the need to conserve water supply. Dr. Roland Cortez, the medical center chief of the NCMH, said they are not also limiting the admission of patients despite the water shortage in some parts of Metro Manila.
Our admissions will still be the same as usual.
Aiko Miguel, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
Wishcovery Season 2 Grand Winner Rhea Basco meets Wish 107.5 innovator Kuya Daniel Razon today. The Metro Manila singing gem is also preparing to head for Dubai this month. Here's Mirasol Abogodil to tell us why.
Nandito pa rin po yung parang feeling ko na regular person pa rin po ako, ganyan. Tapos meron pong ibang nakakakilala sa akin or tumitingin po, ganyan. So parang nakakagulat din po.
Unbelievable! This is how singing dentistry student Rhea Basco describes her musical journey since day one of Wishcovery Season 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Wishcovery Season 2 Grand Champion, Junji Marcelo, Rhea Basco.
On February 26, she was proclaimed the Wishcovery Season 2 Grand Winner, together with her Wishcover composer Junji Marcelo. Her performance of Junji's original composition, Hingang Malalim, wowed the audience and impressed the judges. Wish 107.5 awards her a cash prize, a singing contract, a house and lot, and a new car. Today, no less than Kuya Daniel Razon himself, the man behind Wish 107.5, handed Rhea her car key. Kuya Daniel also revealed what's in store for Rhea as she becomes a BMPI talent.
Kasama dyan kasi yung mga recording niya, no? And then of course, yung mga concerts na naka-line up where she will be part of it. At yun ay itong year din na to. And pati yung sa launch ng kanilang album They will be having a concert as well for that one, together with the other artists and yung mga composers nila na nag-compose ng mga songs nila. So ito ngayon yung immediate na kasunod, yung launch ng kanilang album, wherein we will be looking forward na makapag-collaborate din sila dun sa kanilang mga mentors and yung kanilang mga composers sa isang performance that they will be doing sa malaking venue.
The Wishcovery Season 2 champion will fly to Dubai to perform as the front act of Asia Soul Supreme KC Tandingan's Supreme Concert at the Dubai World Trade Center Arena on March 22.
Super happy din kasi po, pinagkatiwalaan po ako ng Wish na mag-front act po sa concert ni KZ sa Dubai and sa Davao po. So, sobrang happy po. Nagpa-practice po ako para hindi naman po sila ma-disappoint sa akin pag nag-perform na po ako sa Dubai. So, gagalingan ko po. Excited na po ako. Tsaka kinakabahan din po. Kasi concert po ni KZ yun, super galing niya.
And singing hopefuls, get ready as Wish 107.5 will soon open the third season of the largest online singing competition in the country, Wishcovery.
We will be announcing soon the mechanics for the season 3 ng Wishcovery. So abangan na lang po nila and hopefully ay makapagbigay ng panibagong chance dun sa mga ibig na pumasok sa larangan ng musika. So watch out for the opening and we will be announcing all the mechanics soon.
Mirasol Abugadil, UNTV News and Rescue.